Welcome everyone to Jasmine TV episode 347. Today is April 11th, 2017. We are going to play a variant of a variant today. Crazyhouse chess is a variant where when you capture a piece, you can put it on the board at a later time. We made up something thanks to a viewer suggestion called Hot Pocket Crazyhouse, which is named after a nasty food where it's kind of like Cheese Whiz. It's another nasty food. The piece in your pocket is so hot that you must drop it. You basically must drop your piece if you can. So I suppose if you're in check from a night, you can't drop it. Other than that, you got to empty out your pocket immediately. Otherwise, you'll get a burn near to some unmentionables. So let's go try this out. Play with a friend. Variant Crazyhouse. Let's try it. Hot Pocket Crazyhouse. We're going to drop a link into the chat here and see who wants to play with us from the live stream. For you guys on YouTube, this is actually a live broadcast. We're struggling a little bit with the bit rate, so it's a little choppy for people watching live. However, it's not choppy on YouTube, so that part's nice. But more importantly, things that I've forgotten are more important. Isn't that just the way life is? Okay, so let's start with e4, and then let's put the rules in the chat. We're going to assume that Live Forever will play honestly here. If you can drop a piece, you must. So you might notice that my face is covering the area of my collection of pieces right here. You might notice that. If you're astute, that might be something that you notice. Let's ask him if it's okay. But don't worry. It doesn't matter what's there. Trust me. And why? Why is the chessboard all weird? Why? I'm so flabbergasted. D3. Because this should be down like this. And this should be up like this. I think they constantly move stuff around on this website just to mess up my stream. Seriously. See this? See the way it should be is more like this. So far, so good. You must drop your piece immediately. It should be like this. And like this. It's getting better, isn't it? Do I have a problem here? I'm going to assume that I don't have a problem. That way I won't have one. Some people live their lives that way. There are a few unfortunate souls who say, oh no, I have a problem, and then they try to solve the problem, and their life is so stressful. You must drop now, :D, which sounds like a colonoscopy, and it kind of is. Oh, nice move. You picked up my bishop. That frustrates me significantly. I have to drop, so I'll drop. Wow, that attack is more powerful than I expected. I thought that since he has to drop immediately, there'd be nothing for me to worry about. Let's take the bishop, and let's drop immediately over here. He has to drop his bishop right now. Drop B. So my attack's going to get going, I'm sure. I wonder if I could find a way to pin and win his queen. Like with bishop here, he has to block, then take. Ooh. Ooh. Which square is more lively? Probably after this move. I'm going to have to drop, so fortunately that's what I want to do. Lucky for me. Bishop at G3 is the move. My king here is behind my shoulder. Oh! What's happening now? Checkmate, black is victorious. That's not good. Okay, so apparently in Hot Pocket Crazyhouse, you still shouldn't try to get checkmated. So watch out, by the way, for pins in Crazyhouse. This is something that every Crazyhouse player knows well, except for me. When you are pinned like this, you really need to control that situation, because after knight d4, I actually probably should have taken that knight and just given up my queen because the attack becomes so strong. Let's find another opponent, and maybe one I can beat. That would be nice. That guy was unrated in Crazyhouse. Very fishy. Very, very fishy. The stream is so laggy, it's disappointing. I'm going to take some big steps, like 3 or 4 meter steps in order to fix the stream, but I can't do it during the stream. It's going to involve moving my wireless router. I actually think my router, because my new house is so large, which I'll show you here in a moment and in another video, My router is so distant. I actually think I'm just dropping packets like a hot pocket. I actually think that's the problem right now. Which is a better problem to have because you can fix that so much easier than your ISP being slow. Para example is our next opponent. E4, E5 will be the play. Whoops, I pasted the wrong thing in the chat. Let's paste the rules. Hot Pocket Crazyhouse. I'm going to play better this game. Watch out for the pin. Just watch out for it. It's not comfy. One option I have would be to play knight e7. It's not smart, but it's an option, so I'll consider that for sure. There's a chance my opponent... I'm just going to put off the knight move. He can't pin me if I'm on g8, right? Actually, he could if he plays queen takes h8. Then I'd be totally pinned. What I'm trying to think about right now is cheese. Monster cheese? Not so good. Now I'm thinking about Havarti cheese. Oh, yes, Havarti cheese. They call me Cheese Whiz for a reason. Is it my turn? Oh, yeah, so good. Okay, so now I can play the same moves against my opponent here that... Wait, it's the same opponent. For example. Look at that. I'm playing exactly like he did, except I'm him. So now I will win, right? Right, par example? He should probably just resign because he could foresee that after pawn at g2, checkmate. I'll take with the knight, though, because it's under attack. I have to drop right now, but he's going to have to drop as soon as it's legal. Interesting. I should probably drop with check. This is an interesting position. I could drop somewhere that loses my bishop instead. That's really fascinating options here. I'll drop with check. Drink from the vase. Could take this, but I don't think that's the right move. Let's just save the bishop. The video is really struggling with the stream. That's very disappointing to me. Video is so bad. Oh, that's not a legal move. Take that back. Take that back, par example. You must drop. Thank you. Thank you. Drop your knight now. All right. All right. He tried to play queen a4. So the people on the live stream are really struggling. The packets are too hot to arrive at my router. But fortunately, they can hear my voice okay, because those packets are smaller, guys. They're just 8-bit packets. When they're like 011, 0001, and they're like, yes, it's just was talking, and he's saying things I can't see. He resigns. He resigns? Why does he resign? I don't even understand why he resigns. Maybe he's just super frustrated that he has to drop his knight right here. But I don't think I have like an easy win or anything. Weird. Well, that was weird. Let's play another game. Let's find an opponent who doesn't resign in the middle of it. I actually don't think he needed to resign there. Maybe he was like, I want to play queen a4. I'm gonna go find a game against someone I can play queen a4 against. I mean, like, I'm just leaving here. This game can't play queen a4. I'm leaving. Maybe that's what happened. Queen a4 is a good move. I have played queen a4 checkmate before. No, not in that position, I think, but in a different position I played it. So there. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Of course, I'm only saying that to the people who are actually watching because the stream's kind of choppy. But for you who are watching, thank you. I really enjoy your presence. When I live stream this show and there's people who can't see me, that's just such a better experience than just making a YouTube video. When I make YouTube videos, it's a worse experience. I like to say things that can be already logically deduced. That way I'm not wrong. I hate being wrong. But I like lying, so there's a fine line between being wrong and lying. Who said there? Saw a great joke this morning. It said, how do you know when the moon is waxing? When the moon is waxing. How do you know that? I'm going to see if there's anything I can do to improve the video quality. Because the viewers would enjoy that. So under output, I've got my video bitrate on the minimum. Already. The minimum. which I think that's really, I can't reduce that, so I think that's all I can do. But interestingly, it's kind of bouncing around. Huh. Bouncing around, it's bouncing around a lot. Let's check my connection to the local network. It says connected and secured. Well, that's good. See, so many people have struggled with the video that now nobody wants to play me. They've actually all left, which is okay. I mean, I like sitting in an empty room. You can tell because I am doing that right now. But there are downsides, like there's nobody to play chess with. There is another possibility. Oh, there's tons of people watching. Guys, click the link. Just because you can't see me doesn't mean you shouldn't click the link. Most people click links they can't see. We've got, for example, we've got Entangled01 and Fagwent and Gerbil03 and Hera is here, but he's not here. And there's Hepakristensen and there's Hunger Krinzler. And of course, Maverick515, who's in audio mode right now. Lisco, Toilet Gator. That's a great username, Toilet Gator. And also Vurnvlad. That's just a small smattering of the many viewers who can't see me because of the video problems. So one of you guys should click the link that I've put in the chat and we'll play some crazy. Since you're not doing that, I have a new idea. I'm going to play against a stranger. I'm going to play Hot Pocket Chess because that's the point of the show. But my opponent probably won't. Oh, look, we've got an opponent. Good. He's an 1100. Perfect. I think I applaud you for being brave enough to bring your 1100 into this room. Let's check his rating. That's not 1100. 1500, 1400. Okay, so he's actually more like 1500. Let's trade pawns because then we have to drop the pawn immediately. Should be fun. Put it here, I guess. You have to drop immediately. Oh, he's cheating. That'll make it more interesting. You have to drop your pawn immediately. That's the rule. I think this is an interesting variant. If your opponent doesn't resign in the early middle game, and if you don't blunder in the early middle game, and perhaps if you don't play an opponent who's cheating, which we've been doing one of those things constantly. Oh, this is an exciting turn of events. Look above my head. The other player has left the game. I'm going to claim a victory. I feel like that was a hard-fought game, but I pretty much got the advantage. Look how many pieces and pawns I have on the other side of the board. Hundreds of pieces and pawns, and by that I mean one. So I think he's pretty much... He left the game instead of resigning, is what I think he did. Pretty much the same thing there. Next opponent here. Let's see if we get an opponent. If we can't get one from the chat because of the struggles with the connections. Hey, look, a challenge from Tom's. Let's play Tom's. You can't see it. I'll just click it for you. Okay, Tom's, are you ready? I need to post the rules into this chat box. There's so many chat boxes. It's chatterable. And now I'm getting a message. Winkle SC2 is now following on me going on Twitch. Really? Winkle? It's probably Mr. Winklevoss. I happen to know that the Winklevoss twins love playing StarCraft 2. That's why they use the username WinkleSC2. You can learn a lot of things on the internet. Most of them are not true, but you can learn them. So I'm once again keeping my knight away from the square because I'm a paranoid crazyhouser. His knight has to be arriving right now, but it hasn't arrived at the best location. This is kind of like that recent reusable rocket that came down from SpaceX. You guys heard about SpaceX? It's a company that X into space. It's a great company because most companies don't do that, right? So okay, I'll propose a take back. I'll accept your proposition. As at least it doesn't say your opponent proposes to get married. I wouldn't accept that proposition. Oh, I have to play a bishop drop. Oh, you are a genius. Let's see if I can spell genius. It's like the only word spelled correctly in that sentence, but that is a genius strategy. I cannot take that. I have to drop the bishop. You are pushing the boundaries of this variant. If I take... Oh, I have to drop the bishop. E2, he says. I thought about that, but it just seems kind of dumb. It doesn't seem safe at all. What if I play something else? I'm going to lose my queen. Is e2 best? Take queen, take queen. He has to drop his queen. Where will he drop it? Nowhere really amazing. Then I'll have to, okay, I'll do e2. I'll send him okay. Okay, now you have to drop your queen. That was amazing. Tom's came up with a new tactic. Blunder your knight. Great tactic. You know, let's check my ping to Google. I think that would be a pretty cool idea, since Maverick is asking me that. So here I have to block with queen. That's so interesting. Ping-t google.com. Of course, this is going to use most of my bandwidth. But let's type that in and see. Ping is about 250 milliseconds on average, which is a long time. But my ping is not my problem here. My ping is that I can't send you the bits. Now I can't drop the queen. Now I can't drop. So thanks a lot. I had to type LOL so that he could hear me laughing because I am laughing. He wants to take back now simply because he blundered, which I'm actually okay with that because he's such a creative guy who invented the idea of 96 that I will give him a take back on his blunder, which was an attempted. No, I can't drop queen, so I don't have to. It says if you can. That's from the show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. It doesn't sound quite like that, but it's approximately. And then they ask a really difficult question like, which piece in the game of chess cannot jump? What in the world? What is this position? Oh, it's this position again. Perfect. Do you know which piece can't jump in the game of chess? Neither do I, so I'm not a millionaire. There's a good chess proverb. I have to drop my queen. I have to drop my queen. Guess I'll put it right there. It seems like a good place. Waiting on the latency here. Queen g6 takes. I'll take from the outside. Now my rook has an active file. Didn't even have to do any work. Sometimes life is like that. Suddenly you have something great and you didn't have to do anything to achieve it. More likely, though, if you have spent any time living life, you experience something more like this. Some other guy experienced something nice and didn't have to do anything to achieve it. That's way more common. I'm going to put my queen over here and break the cycle. Because if I queen f6, take, and then he puts his queen in here, I would just be so annoyed. Is that checkmate? Oh, no, not quite. Now I have to drop my pawn. Oh, no, I have to drop my pawn. My queen's under attack, but he has to drop his bishop. So let's put it right there. Oh, I should have put it here. Man, I had a great move I didn't make because he'd have to put his bishop on and then I'd get his queen. Of course, my queen's under attack, so what am I thinking? I'll just take that for free. Man, we are confused chess players. He just throws away his bishop because he's confused. But now I have to drop something and he could make a threat and I have to drop the bishop. I'm the confused one. This is amazing. This is amazing. He's pushing the boundaries of Hot Pocket Crazyhouse. I have to drop the bishop. Oh, don't get checkmated. Maybe here, because there is this problem. Yeah. Okay, you can have a take back. I mean, I'm a friendly guy, and we're just exploring this here, so I will accept that. I'll send him a question mark, though, and I'll send him an upside-down question mark just for a balance of opinion here. I mean, don't just think like, what? You should also balance your opinion. Nothing worse than fire ants in your pants. Oh! What kind of a move is that? We are in Crazy Town. Wrong move, he says. Yeah, that's very suspicious. I'm very suspicious about that. I'm going to put this here, because then one pawn will checkmate him. And it stops f7, which just happens to be true, and I'll pretend like I noticed that. Router being too far away would cause inconsistent latency, says Maverick. Maverick, you are on to something because my latency was inconsistent. I had some 150 millisecond pings and some 400 millisecond pings. So that's the problem. And all I have to do next is call my internet provider and say, I'd like to move my router and modem because it's a combo. It's a manual combo. Okay, he's going to checkmate me now. No, he won't. Let's put this right here. What is he doing? He's a crazy man. He's literally crazy. And now he's wasting his time back and forth. Let's give him some time. It's a modem router combo. Thanks for the pawn. And now I can checkmate him. Finally. Finally. And I'm going to say, guys, internet provider, they actually shut down all my ports, but I have little ports for internet all over the house. So I'll just say, put it right here and I'll wire in with Ethernet and then Chess with TV. Perfect Chess with TV. This will be the last bad Chess with TV checkmate. There will be no more bad ones. Good game. You push the boundaries. There's no doubt about it. That way that you play knight at e6 blew my mind in a sort of mind-blowing way. I think we have time for one more game. I'm really excited about the possibilities of this variant. I know that we don't have time to explore them all because, first of all, our opponents are kind of making bad moves, most of them. And secondly, I'm kind of making bad moves. But if you're an amazing Crazyhouse player watching this right now, which by that I define as more than rating than me, which I'm about 2,000, so that's pretty amazing, then you should try this variant out with your variant amazing friends. And let me know what you think. In the comments below the video, please write whether this variant is amazing or not, because I don't have the capability to detect that against these cheesy opponents who resign in the opening. I think, however, we might have to throw a challenge out to the general public. I've put a challenge in the chat if anyone wants to play. Click that, I'll type, and then I'll send a smiley face, because no virus would have a smiley face next to it. I mean, if you think about it. They usually have, like, flashing colors, or they're invisible, but never a smiley face. So you can always feel safe clicking things next to smiley faces. Running low on vase water here. Maverick would click it, he says. But he's at work. I find that answer to be dubious. So I'm going to throw a challenge out for the final game out to the general public. This is another interesting way to play these variants that we've been playing on this show, is to challenge people who don't know you're playing the variant. And then afterward, maybe, just if you feel like it, you can tell them, by the way, man, I had both hands tied behind my back and I was moving my chess pieces with my tongue and I still beat you. That might not be the variant we're going to play next episode, but still, by encumbering yourself, in that case, literally, you can you have a good time and maybe lose because of your encumbrance. But in this case, this actually might be an interesting variant where your opponent isn't playing hot pocket. He's just saving up his pieces for the big bomb, and you are playing them every time. And then after the game, you can say, well, ha ha ha, I won anyway, which you won't be saying because you won't have won. But let's not tell the opponent. Let's just keep that a secret, because you can see we're pretty closely rated. So it might be aborted. That's not part of the plan. What's going on? We're really struggling here. I think there's a bug in my house. Probably one of those June bugs. Those things are obnoxious. It's different again if your opponent knows you're playing in a restricted way. If you start the game by saying, hey, by the way, man, I'm playing hot pocket, then of course they don't have no idea what that is, so maybe that's okay, but this is an interesting way to start a chess game, that's for sure. Oh, this is not chess! No, I did not choose Crazyhouse. I don't want to give up because it's a blitz game. Oh no, I'm trying to use my last moments to play amazing Hot Pocket Crazyhouse, and I'm not even playing Crazyhouse. I know, I'll play Hot Pocket Chess. Every time you can drop a piece in chess, you have to right away. That's what I'm playing. It's a variant of a variant of a variant. It's non-crazy Crazyhouse. This is going to be good. This bishop goes here. There's a target right there, guys. Open file onto that pawn. That's great for me because it can't be defended by a pawn unless it's pushed, but that is kind of a dangerous place for it. So I think I can pretty much win it with this move. I mean, boy, howdy, is that a nice move? I also have this strat. I also have this move, which is a move I could play because it threatens this because of that pin. Wow, I'm just winning and I haven't even started. Which move should I play? Well, this move actually looks like it would win this pawn. I don't see how he would protect it again. But this move, wow. He would struggle to not get checkmated. I'm going to do that. I love it when my opponents struggle to not get checkmated. It's one of my favorite pastimes. So I think I'll take this pawn next and then I'll take this pawn. That'll be checkmate. That'll be pretty good. I love checkmate when it's his king. Okay, now I do this one. He has to play rook f7, I think, to protect himself. And then the knight comes and owns his face. Which way should I do this? There's like two angles for face ownership. We'll go this way. They were both good. He's so tied up. Should I just leave him like this? I think it's pretty fun to just leave him tied up in a chair and then beat him later. Let's see. He's threatening that. But if I take this, then I'm defending it. Ha ha. I love it. Okay, how much am I winning by? 1,000,000 or 1,000,000,000? 6 pawns to 7. I'm ahead by a pawn. Perfect. I'm also ahead by a rook, which is nice. Yep, I pretty much beat you, Dariosh, but I didn't get to play Hot Pocket, so I am, in essence, the loser. The exchange in a pawn is quite an advantage, though. So I don't think there's any way I won't win this. These pawns, they're not really pawns, but they're doing great on the open file there. Let's bring the king up this way. Important to use your king in the endgame, because I say so. Interestingly, this pawn that was a target in the opening, still a target. If he moves his rook away, I kind of take it, so that's great for me. Kings are important. Let's put the king up. Oh, there's the push. I think I will just allow this to be a beautiful pin. He's got a big problem right here. Right here, big. Right here, problem. If the rook moves, I take the bishop. If the bishop moves, I take the rook. And so he has to do some trades. I guess that's not the punishment I had in mind. But it's 3 pawns to 2, if you count 1 as 2. So that's pretty good for me. Let's do that. By the way, quick time-saving maneuver right there. I don't know if you noticed that, but see, I was about to push this pawn, and the pawn was in my grasp, my virtual grasp, right? And I saw I wanted to recapture. Do not put the pawn back on g3. Do not do this. Besides the fact that it's kind of illegal, it's a waste of virtual time to drag your pawn backwards. What I did, and if you rewind the video, you can see this, is drag the pawn onto the pawn that you want to move, like that. Or in this case, that. That's illegal, right? You can't move your pawn there. And it jumps back to the square where it was. Great time saver in a very, very fast game of chess where you need time savers is if you've got a piece in your hand and you changed your mind about where to move it, drag it onto the piece that you actually want to move, then let go, which is usually illegal unless you're playing capture your own pieces chess variant, which in that case, don't do that. You'll capture your own pieces. And then you can let go and re-go, and it's good. So that's a tip for you. I think this maneuver here will work pretty well. I don't see how he could beat me if I do this. I want to be a millionaire. That's why I keep doing that. Come on, Regis. Just mail me the money. I don't care about the questions. Speaking of mail me the money, I was in my bank yesterday. I got so many banks. I'm like Mr. Banks from Mary Poppins. And next to me, I could overhear, because that's what you should do when you're up at the teller line, you know, doing your transactions. You should listen for other people's account numbers. It's a great way to get money. And I heard somebody say, he's depositing this cashier's check. And then the manager of the bank came over right next to him, standing behind the teller. And she's just watching. The manager was a female, which is a nice situation. No comment there. And and she's just kind of like leaning over like this, like leaning. Like, for example, if the teller had been her spouse, I would expect some indecent behavior coming up. But the teller was another person who wasn't her spouse. So she was just paying attention, right? And then the teller asked, like, okay, let's deposit this cashier's check. Do you know the person who sent it to you? And he said, no. And that's a little weird. Oh, he's resigned. Okay, I guess we should try one more Hot Pocket game of real Crazyhouse, and then we're going to go end the show. And I'll go eat something. Well, let's try it with a friend. Maybe I've got a friend by now. He says no. So that's a dubious response right off. So then my ears perk up because I have those. They up here perk up a lot, which is why I wear these so you can't see them perking up. It's better that way. And so I'm listening, and then they say, okay, so what? They asked another question like, what are you going to do with the money? Or I don't, it was a very invasive question, but it seemed on point considering the situation. And then the man explained, well, I'm selling something on Craigslist, and this person is going to come pick up my thing, but he's paying me too much money so that I can give some money back so that they can do some shopping in the area. By the way, don't do that. It's not real. And then the bank manager who was kind of leaning was like this. And she just like leaned in like this. And she said, we see this every day. We believe this is fraudulent. And it was interesting because I thought she would try to explain exactly what was fraudulent about it, like convince the man that it was fraudulent. But I realized later that was smart she didn't do that because it would be nearly impossible because that would require convincing someone else that what they believe is false. That is so hard. If you have ever tried to convert somebody to a religion or from a religion, you will learn convincing people to change their beliefs is super hard. And so this bank manager understood this. So she did not, I got to get some chess on this screen. This is not okay to just sit here. She did not try to convince him, which was great because that saved her a lot of time. Instead, she said, do you have the phone number of the person, she should have said ultimate scammer Nigerian, who is sending you this check? And he did actually have a number. So she puts that on the check and she's like, we'll find out if this will work for you. And she kept the cashier's check. Very important. If you're a bank manager out there, you need to keep the cashier's check because if you just give it back to the guy and say, you know, this is a fraud and you're an idiot, what they're going to do is go to their other bank and get scammed because the other bank is like Chase Bank and they don't care if you get scammed. They just don't care because they only care about one thing, and that's being the coolest blue. Chase Bank has a really good blue. So she kept the cashier's check and she sent him on his way. And she actually gave him the idea that she wasn't sure if it was scammy. She was going to follow up and see and, you know, help the guy out. And I'm doing this because what I'm trying to say is she was like kind of lying to him. I mean, the fact is she knew it was a scam and she was probably going to take that thing to the shredder right afterward. All right, Tessu, I'm playing Hot Pocket Crazyhouse here, the final game of the show. If you can, I'm going to actually give him the rules, and if he doesn't want to play by them, that's okay, because I'm going to. I see if I can spell I'm going to play that way, and then I'll send a smiley face to show it's not a virus. Let's see how this goes. See how this goes. Very closely rated games here between 1959 and 1997. There's not a lot of difference between those two numbers. But in my opinion, people had better work ethic in 1959. In 1999, 1997, I'll tell you what people did in 97 besides have a lot of kids. Because people are always doing that. It's kind of a problem here. Because I want to move the bishop. But that would be dumb. 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 In 59, people worked hard. They carried heavy things. But in 1997, they sat at their computers and bought stock in pets.com for 3 years. Ooh. If I take that, and he takes, and then I take. My king is out here, and then bam, check. And I'm like, no. So I run away, and then queen drops right here, check. And I'm like, no. I don't trust that he's going to play by the artificial restriction of dropping before he plays this. Yeah, see, he's not doing that. So let's try to survive this way. This is bad for me, but could be worse. It could be worse. This chess game could be being played in a scalding hot tub of hot water. scalding hot, like 140 degrees, and my skin could be boiling off. But that's not happening right now, so this is not as bad as it could be. I'm playing Hot Pocket, so I'm going to drop that like it's hot. Now maybe I'll save my situation. I have to drop something, so I'll put that right there. This is quite a restriction, actually. I mean, when you're under attack and you're like dropping your knight, then you start to realize the problems with society. See how it goes. If I win this way, Tessu is going to be so humiliated. I'm just going to scratch my nose. That's what I'm going to do. It's going to be great. So big problems. I take this. He plays rook g1. Maybe not the best move, but with pawn in hand, I have to drop my pawn. And then my queen is a sitting duck, which is the metaphor for dead. That's a good move, though. Let's check him. Maybe I can run him out of time. I really want to win because I like that. So let's see, find a way to win here. I told him I would play Hot Pocket. Should I make an exception for myself? Since my queen's under attack and I can't check with this bishop? Seems like I should. Seems like I should cheat right now, but let's not. Let's be the honorable man and just lose. Great, now I got a pawn to drop. He's probably confused about my bad moves. I should explain. I'm being an idiot on purpose, man. I'm going to try to run him out of time. He seems like a thoughtful person. I don't have anything to drop. That's good, though. That means I don't have to drop anything. Should I save the rook? Should play that. Better save the rook. It's going to be pretty hard to run him out of time. I'm nearly dead. Nearly, but not entirely dead. I am certainly nearly dead. Defending this because that would be bad. Nearly dead. But I'm not dead. I have 2 pieces I have to drop. Did I cheat in there? Let's check. Check. I couldn't drop. Check. I couldn't drop. Check. I couldn't drop. Okay. So now I just have to put things on the board exactly when I don't want to be putting things on the board. Let's put this right here. That'll keep it sharp because then that's checkmate. If he defends the checkmate, let's pre-move that. Checkmate, Tessu! I beat him! Yes, I'm a great player! That is the challenge to you. Play a Crazyhouse game with the Hot Pocket restriction only for yourself. Tell your opponent at the start of the game and then win like whiz. Wow, that was a great game. This is a great show, and if you have not seen any other shows, good, because you should only watch ChessWhiz TV. That would be the best thing to do. I want to thank you guys for watching because I liked that you watched. This has been ChessWhiz TV. Thanks for watching.